In this section, we're going to be looking at some of the popular secular teachings, concepts, ideas on leadership, business, and personal development. What you're going to find too is I'm going to have the equivalent or comparative from the Bible. Sometimes the Bible endorses and supports what's out there, and every now and again it's contrary. A lot of times what we want to think is that these teachers, gurus, schools of thought came up or originated with the idea. A lot of times it is probably something influenced from the Bible from some long time ago. There's truly nothing new under the sun, and a lot of what we experience, learn, are exposed to is often triggered and influenced by something else in the past. So some of our gurus that we hear have all these wonderful lessons, have had their influence somewhere else, very often from the Bible. So this is just straight up comparative. This is not intended to be a debate platform. This is just some of the more popular teachings out in the secular world and the Bible's comparative as I have found it. Thank you. Enjoy. Hi, Trudy Behrman here. Have you ever heard of the law of attraction? The law of attraction. It is a concept where whatever you focus on, positive or negative, you pull to yourself. Now, this thought process historically has been credited to the early 1900s when there was a new thought movement out there, and there was a book written by William Atkinson titled The New Thought Movement, Thought Vibration, or the Law of Attraction in the World, in the Thought World. So this gentleman was credited with coming up, not so much with the concept, but the phrase, the law of attraction. But you know what? That concept is really nothing new. Absolutely nothing new. Now, my Bible is my awesome guide to life, and here's what the Bible says in Mark 11 verse 24, and I'm reading from the NLT, or the New Living Translation. It says, Jesus is speaking here. Listen to me. You can pray for anything, and if you believe, you will have it. Listen to me. You can pray for anything, and if you believe, you will have it. So that was Mark 11 verse 24. That, my friends, is the law of attraction. And it is a truth and a universal law. So whether or not you choose to believe the Bible, there are some realities that exist regardless of our belief. So gravity, for example, though you cannot see it, and whether you believe it to be so or not, it exists. And the law of attraction is real. And that is the secular vernacular for this concept, but the Bible already says in Mark 11:24, and Jesus is speaking, can't get any more authoritative than that. Listen to me. Are you listening to him? Listen to me. You can pray for anything, and if you believe, you can have it. There you go. The law of attraction, Bible style. What would you do if you knew you could not fail? What project, task, mission, business, purchase, what would you take on if you knew as a fact that you wouldn't fail? Hi, Trudy Behrman here of TrudyBehrman.com, host of Debt Free Wealth Radio. So the question is, what would you do if you knew you would not fail? Well, this question is often asked in personal development circles or entrepreneurs who are looking to expand their business. And this question is geared to have them dream the big dream, and then having thrown it out there to work towards it. And if you have any idea about the law of attraction, you know that a lot of times once you put something out there,
your life just seems to work towards making that happen for you? Well, in my personal devotion and quiet time, I was reading in Judges, and as far as I'm concerned, the Bible may as well have inserted my name. To give you some context, God was talking to Gideon, and he was sending him out to rescue the children of Israel yet again. And in Judges 6:16, this verse just kind of jumped right out at me. Adonai said to him, "Because I will be with you, you will strike down Midian as easily as if they were just one man." This is coming from the Complete Jewish Bible version. It just happens to be my favorite version of the Bible right now. But when I read that, it may as well have said Adonai said to Trudy. This is a guarantee of success. This is, Gideon was going out knowing ahead of time he had guaranteed success in the mission at hand, the project at hand, what God was setting him out to do. And, you know, when I read that, I just felt, wow. I mean, you know, this promise is absolutely available to all of us who believe. And here it is again in Philippians 4 verse 13. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. It's not about whether I can personally succeed in my own strength with my set of resources. That was not the question here at hand. The thing was that God was going to give Gideon this ability. God gave him the guarantee. And in Philippians, it's saying that in the strength of Christ, I can do all things. I can be successful. So I'm asking you again, what would you do if you knew you would not fail? Well, this is a challenge that's out there, and I'm putting this challenge directly to you. Where are your customers? Where is your audience? Where are your prospects? As you think about your business and you're wondering just where these people might be, I want you to take heart. This morning as I was reading my Bible, I read in 1 Samuel 22 verse 2, and I'll read that for you. Then all the people in distress, in debt, or embittered began gathering around him, and he became their leader. There were about 400 with him. This is just an excerpt from the story of David. At this point, he's serving under Saul, and Saul has recognized that God's favors with David, and so he decides to kill David, and David has run away. David was a top official in the army, and he was married to King Saul's daughter. I mean, for all intents and purposes, this man had it all. Okay, then he had to run away to save his own life. And when he ran away, he left everything behind. He didn't even have a sword. If you go on to read the rest of the story, he didn't even carry a weapon with him. He literally left with nothing to try and save his life. And then the question is, how does a man who has led an incredible army just suddenly have nothing? And then what? Well, here it is in 1 Samuel 22 verse 2. It says, then all the people in distress, in debt, or embittered began gathering around him, and he became their leader. There were about 400 with him. Now David was in a position where he resonated with these people. Before, as top leader in the army, these people weren't coming to him. But when he had now experienced being down and out with nowhere to go and nothing to having nothing, now he became the person who was that everybody resonated with. So all of a sudden, this man who left with nothing and had nothing now found himself the leader of 400 disgruntled rebels. But he now had an army, and if you read and go on, that army grew to 600, and the next thing you know, he just won everything, and he just took over, and he ultimately became king. The point really here is, as you build your business and you're wondering, where is my audience? Where are my customers? Think first of all, who is it you're resonating with? ultimately people do business with people that they know, people that they like, people that they resonate with. And you know what? If there's 10,000 reps in your company, you are the only one that's you. You're the only one that's you. And no matter if the message remains the same, you are the X factor, and you are going to be the person that somebody's going to resonate with. And maybe your audience is a group of rabble rousers, rebels, disgruntled people in debt, like I think mine are. So you never know where they're going to come from, but for sure it's going to be where your story has taken you, and that people are going to resonate with you and your story. So start there, look at your story, share your story. And if you know mine, you know that I'm coming from a place of former comfort, then through the pit of debt, and I'm on the other side of that. And I think that honestly, those are the same people who are coming my way. And that may be a nugget for you to start looking back again as you are trying to figure out, well, where do I start? Start with your story and see who connects with you and your story. Trudy. We all have people around us who influence us in one way or another. But when we get a chance to be selective of those people, we really should take a good look about who we invite into our space. Maybe you're part of a mastermind group. Maybe you have an advisory board or council. And the people who have the ability to influence you really have a lot of power. I'm a part of a mastermind group, and they're an awesome set of entrepreneurs, and we really excite and inspire each other, and just a whole lot of great things happen because of that group of positive people who surround me. And I hope that I do the same for them. But Psalm 101 verse 7 says, I will not allow deceivers to serve in my house, and liars will not stay in my presence. That's King David speaking about the people who are part of his core group of advisors. Psalm to the kind of people, but it also speaks to the proactiveness of it. I will not allow. Guys, this is a choice. I mean, sometimes we can't really decide and avoid certain people. Sometimes there's certain people that are going to be around us, but we can still allow them to influence us. You know, or we can be very careful about allowing them to influence us. Very proactive. I will not allow. And then who? The deceivers, the liars, the crooks, the con men. Just have nothing to do with them. And you will just really clean up your thinking, clean up your space. Have people around you that have your back, that have your best interest at heart, and be that kind of person to someone else.